Years ago, I used to recharge my own batteries, my own alkaline batteries, way before YouTube ever even was thought about. But I'd kind of given it up and kind of swept it under the rug because I just had, you know, rechargeable batteries. And I've used those for years. But I think about a year ago, I noticed that they started selling rechargeable alkaline battery rechargers. And I did a little research on those, and those things are just expensive. So completely washed that under the rug as well. But just the last couple months came up again, thought, why not? Maybe the price is dropping, and they hadn't. So I thought to revisit recharging non-rechargeable alkaline batteries. I still have my old chargers. These are for rechargeable batteries. You know, I got this one, and I have another, one right here. This one looks like a Panasonic, and this one's a Sanyo. Both of these are just generic dumb chargers. Dumb chargers meaning there's really no computer chips in them. You know, you're supposed to just put them on the charger and take them off when your thing's charged. You know, this is a 6-hour charger. You're supposed to put your chargeable batteries on there for about 6 hours and just take them off. And you can find these almost anywhere. One of the problems with recharging these batteries is they overheat and then they begin to leak, and they don't take a charge really well. So the trick to this is actually this little guy right here. And this is just a timer for Christmas lights or lamps in the house for when you're on vacation or whatever. This one has a couple features like infinite on and offs. So all these little buttons that you can push up and down. And if they're down, they're on, and if they're up, they're off. And as the thing rotates, kicks on and off. But what I do was I actually set this to go on for an hour, off for 2. So as this rotates, it goes just infinite amount of times. It just keeps going around, and it's off for 2, on for 1, over and over and over and over. Bad boy, let's plug it in. You know, it's working. Let's make sure it's in an on position. Okay, it's on, so we can play around. Both of these battery chargers are what I would call like a double battery charger. In other words, they have to have 2 batteries in at the same time to actually be able to charge. They can't just charge one at a time. So you actually have to put in 2 batteries to actually make the little light come on to show that this thing's actually charging. You can't just do one, you got to do 2. The voltage goes through both of them, so you're going to want to make sure you get batteries that are about evenly discharged. You don't want to have one that's barely, you know, that's completely dead and put it right with one that's completely full. And for that, you're going to need a basic, either a cheap battery tester or a basic voltmeter. This is only like a $4 voltmeter, $5 voltmeter, something to that effect from Harbor Freight. But what we're going to do is just take some batteries, no matter what they be, and we're just going to measure the voltages. And this one comes back 1.48 and 1.48. These ones are actually not too bad. A full battery is going to be about 1.6, maybe 1.58, 1.59, 1.6, right in there is full battery. So I would say these batteries are about 3/4 of the way full, but somehow they got in the weak pile. So some really power-hungry device, like maybe a flashlight, is going to start showing dim after it gets below 1.5. But these ones can stand to have a little bit of charge, and they're really close to each other, so these could be charged together. You know, generally I don't like to charge different ones in the effect of like cheap Chinese ones. This Vinic battery versus with a Duracell, just because they'll probably have different capacities, and you don't want to overcharge one and not the other one in the systems that I'm using, where you're using them in parallel. If you have a battery charger that just did one at a time, one is probably, putting them by themselves is fine. But I like to take the voltages before. This one's 1.303, and this one's 1.38. So this one's a lot more than this. So I would get another one that's pretty close to 1 volt. I'm doing it backwards, but 1.14. Close enough. 1.15, so I'll do this 1.14 and 1.15 together. But I also like to do something, I like to mark them, and a lot of times it's nice to take a piece of tape and write what the voltage was, because you'll be playing around with so many, you know. Just take a piece of tape, put it on there, or just write directly on there. And both these were roughly we'll just write 1.15, one was 1.14, I don't remember which one it was, but close enough. But now I know that both of them are about 1.15. These are pretty dead. These are dead. You know, anything below that, I haven't had great success charging it. You know, close to 1 volt, but stuff that's like half a volt or so, those things are dead, and I haven't had good luck reviving those. You know, or ones that are really old. These actually expired in 2016. They're not even expired yet. So these are actually, I don't think I'll have a problem at all recharging these. So I'll jump in here. All this stuff, I'll jump in here and I will just, and I'll just put them in. I have my timer running, so I will leave this on here for about 24 hours or so, and then I'll just pull them off and check them. And if they're over 1.5 volts, you know, 1.6 or so, then I know they're fully charged, and I can take them off and I can put them in the bucket. If they don't take a charge, I know that they're not going to take a charge. But the whole idea between the 1 hour charging and the 2 hour off is to allow them to cool down and to never overheat. And when I do this, they never even get warm. They never get warm at all, and that's what you want. I'll charge those up, but first let's show you on these ones right here. This is the only incandescent light bulb, not an LED, that I could actually find around the house. Takes 2 batteries. So I'll put those in, and we'll do a before and we'll do an after. So I mean, they light it up. They're about at it. So see you in a while. Hey guys, it's actually 24 hours later, almost exactly, and they should be done. They're actually in an off cycle right now with the timer. They're not on. You know, they've been off, it looks like, for about a half hour or so. So let's pull them out and see what we get. These ones are 1.15 to start. 1.53, 1.55, both those took a charge. Let's take 2 of these. Let's take these 1.15s, they were a little bit lower. Throw them in here. And we can see that we are now getting good light, and it's not dissipating. Staying nice and bright. Well, there we go, guys. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and have fun with it, you know, and recharge your unrechargeable batteries.